Hey, how's it going, my friends? Josh here with Desert Gardens Homestead. So I'm out here, I'm still working on the moringa tree. I'm actually getting some of this straw moved into both the chicken run and the chicken coop area. And I was digging near the base, and I remembered when I was, right before I protected the moringa, I've got a triple crown blackberry here. And so I had quite a few blackberry runners. And I remember I did some serpent layering, and so I just traced it out. I had a brick down there at the base here of the moringa, and so it actually snapped when I was undoing it. But look at here. So I have roots. That was just the first section I pulled up, but this is going to be rooted. If you see down here, I've got more roots. Let's see here. There it is. See that root right there? And so I had this running branch. I probably buried it maybe 5 or 6 times. So this one running branch, I can actually snip, and I could probably make 5 or 6 new cuttings out of this, or new plants, excuse me, they're already rooted. And so it's only been, since last fall that I did this, and I think I did it on 2 or 3 different runners. So once I get all this straw cleaned up here, I'm gonna go ahead and start finding the runners and pulling them up, and then start potting them up and making new plants. So I'll bring you back once I get this runner pulled up here, and I'll just show you how many plants that I was able to make from it. All right, well, I got it pulled out here. The branch is about 4 feet long. And so let's see here. We've got rooting there, so I can snip that and make this little end a plant. I've got rooting there, so from that root to the right to the next root to the right will be another plant. So there's 2. There's another small root, and I can take that little stalk. That would be 3. Let's see, that's a root there, so that would be 4. There's a root, that would be 5. There's a root, that's 6. And there's a root, that would be 7. If you look here, there's some small roots. And so if I just take a small little part of that stem, that would be another plant, so that would be 8. And I don't see much else here. There's a little node, but I don't really see a whole lot of roots coming out of it. So out of this 4-foot section, I can make 8 new plants. And I think I had at least 3 of these runners out there that I had serpent layered. And that just goes to show you how many plants that you can make from these types of runners. Here are the cut up sections, all 8 various little sections of blackberry that are all rooted. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these horizontal within the pot, just like they were in the ground. And so I'll go ahead and put these in horizontally, and I'll show you what that looks like. And just to show you an example here, so what I did, I've got these little square pots, and so I just make sure I trim the branch to fit within the pot. As you can see, wherever it's rooted, there's typically a new shoot coming up, which is this piece right here. And so what I want to do is I just want to bury the roots. I'm not too concerned about burying the entire branch. I certainly don't want to bury the new growth. And so I'm just putting in enough soil to cover the roots, but try to leave that new growth tip exposed. I'll show you a few of the other ones I've done. Okay, so I'm working on them here. There's one right there in the center. The next pot is coming up, is right next to that branch. You'll see that little growth coming up there. The third pot, there's the new piece of growth. And then the one I just showed you. And then so, just to see, so this is a new growth here. This one, it's got this one little tiny root. I'm going to probably end up trimming this right here. And that root's going to go down, and then I'll just put a little bit on that. And there's the growth point. There's the growth point. This one over here, the growth point's here. And there's another growth point coming out from those roots, but I'm going to use that growth point there. And so I'm just basically putting it in to where the roots are down. I'm putting a little bit of soil at the roots to bury them, and trying to keep that growth point exposed. Here are all 8 blackberries fully covered. I'm not going to mulch them. I'm just going to water them real good Just make sure that when you do this, that you're going to put them in a shady location, out of the heat, out of direct sunlight, until you start seeing new growth. As you can see, these new shoots are albino. They have never seen sun. They started growing in the darkness. The last thing you would want to do is put these out in full sun, because they're just going to stress and wither and die most likely. So the best thing you can do once you get them to this point is just water them in real good, and make sure you put them in a sunny location, and just make sure they're continuously moist, not wet, but just you know, keep them nice and moist, and they will start growing and do fine. I will post an update once they start growing up. And thank you again for stopping in and viewing the video. Thank you for viewing the channel. This just goes to show you, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money buying plants. I think, you know, a blackberry bush is probably what, 10 or 15 bucks at the store, and here I was able to make 8 within just a matter of about 5 minutes. Took me initially about 5-10 minutes worth of time, and I've got 2 more runners, so if I get, you know, between 5 to 8 more on the other ones, you know, I can make 25 new plants here with no time, and I could either replant these out and make more food, or I can sell these or barter with them. And so that's the name of the game. We all need to be growing more food now more than ever. So if you can do a couple of these little propagation techniques and make new plants and make more food, that is what we need to be doing. So I hope this video finds you well. I hope your day is finding you well, and I hope you're blessed today. And once again, thanks for stopping in and checking out the video. Take care.